Welcome back to Undisputed, and this one is going to make my head hurt. Staffs from The Athletic around the country have been picking Mount Rushmores for each of their cities, performers in sports in the history of each of their cities, and the 4 chosen for Los Angeles caught my eye, not because Shannon and I live in Los Angeles now, here working for Fox Sports 1, but just because of who didn't make the 4 chosen on Mount Rushmore for the City of Angels. The 4 chosen, Magic, Jackie Robinson, Serena, and Kobe. Not chosen were Tiger Woods, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Sandy Koufax, and I could go on, but I won't, because Shannon Sharp, you got any issues with the 4 that were chosen by The Athletic for the city of Los Angeles?
Yeah, I do, Skip. Obviously, the 2 easiest ones for me, Skip, was Tiger and Serena. Those are the 2 easiest ones for me. I mean, those are no-brainer. You're talking about the greatest tennis player. I can make a case. Serena is the greatest tennis player. Forget female. We know she's the greatest female tennis player. And Tiger, he's the greatest golfer. So they have to be there. Skip, where I kind of I didn't really know, did he have to be born in LA or yada, 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 whatever. But I went with Coach Wooden on my Mount Rushmore. And I also went with Kobe. Now, I went with Kareem, and I get with Kareem. Kareem played 4 years at UCLA. Well, 3 years, they could only play. But he did spend, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 6 years in Milwaukee. So I kind of dinged him for that. But my next 4, Skip, would have been Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax, Kareem, and Magic. Because what people don't realize is that Jackie Robinson's career took place in Brooklyn, not in LA. So that's where I went. I went Serena, Coach Wooden, Kobe, Tiger.
Okay, there's so many issues here. I don't know where to start, but remember, Jackie Robinson played football and baseball here at UCLA, just up the road from us here right now. And he wasn't just good.
And he ran
college.
track.
He was great in both sports, and he ran track. But his primary sports were football and baseball. And obviously, just on historical trailblazing, Jackie Robinson deserves to be on somebody's list, because UCLA's baseball stadium, where I went just 3 weeks ago, it's named Jackie Robinson, Stadium. So
it is.
I get that, and yet I can't put him on my Mount Rushmore, because I'm just doing your ability to dominate your sport. And again, Jackie Robinson was a very good baseball player, but he wasn't an all-time transcendent, dominant baseball player. He just broke the color barrier. No. That's enough said.
Right.
Okay, so my 4 are Magic, Tiger, Serena, and Sandy Koufax. And let me start at the bottom, because Shannon, I don't know if you remember, and forgive me for going too old school here, going 1960s. Sandy Koufax was simply the greatest pitcher in the history of baseball. He dominated, certainly for 5 straight years, just the way Tiger dominated golf for 3 and Serena has dominated tennis seemingly forever. But Sandy Koufax was transcendent, because for 5 straight years, he led the National League in earned run average, and in 4 of those years, he led it in strikeouts. And his record in those 5 years was, start off pretty mediocre at 14-7. Then he goes 25-5, 24-5, 26-8, and 27-8. Nobody had ever seen anything like Sandy Koufax, who led the Dodgers to 4 World Series, in which his ERA was 0.95, and in which, in one of the 4 series, they won 3, he pitched a complete game shutout in Game 7 at Minnesota against the Twins. He was just extraordinary, and I can't leave him off. So let's look at Kobe, dearly departed Kobe. We still haven't recovered from the tragic loss of Kobe Bryant. But when I'm talking about Mount Rushmore, if I want to talk about tragic loss, he's on my Mount Rushmore. But did Kobe dominate his sport? He was all-time great, but there are other great players. I can't say that Kobe owned basketball all those years, But Magic, to me, did own basketball. And the reason I go Magic over Kareem is, remember, Shannon, the 4 years Kareem was a Laker before Magic came out of Michigan State, they weren't that good. The first year Kareem was here, and he'd won a championship with Oscar, obviously, in Milwaukee, but they went 40-42 and missed the playoffs. And the next year, they got swept in the conference finals. And then they lost in the first round, and then they lost in the conference semifinals in 5 games. They needed Magic. They needed his charisma. They needed his leadership, his magnetism, his mere nickname of Magic, the greatest nickname in the history of sports, to take it up to Showtime levels. So to me, in all-time greatness, in transcendence, it was Magic slightly over Kobe and slightly over Kareem. So I go Magic, and I give you Tiger and Serena because they dominated the sport, and so did Sandy Koufax. And I got it on John Wooden. He was the greatest, but he wasn't a player. Yes. He was a coach. So I, so I can't go coach. It's close, and you make a good case, but I just can't quite get there. Your response to all my thoughts.
Skip, for me, is that I won't fight you on that. I mean, and I went, because my original list, I had Magic and Kobe and Serena and Tiger. But then I was like, hold on. Coach Wooden won 10 national titles in 12 years. That's never, ever going to be done again. Not in basketball or football, Skip. You know what I'm saying? Now, soccer, Anson, and Dorrance, what he did at UNC in soccer, okay, we get that. But in a major North American sport, football, basketball, that's not going to happen again. So that's why, and I get it, Skip. Like I said, if I'd have knew the criteria, you're not going to be able to put coaches, I probably would have taken him off. And I agree with you, Sandy Koufax was spectacular. And Skip, remember, he was so devout in his faith, he didn't pitch on Sundays. He missed
a World Series game for Yom Kippur.
Correct.
It was a World Series game against the White Sox. It fell on Yom Kippur, and he just said, "I'm sorry, I don't pitch on Yom Kippur," and he missed some other games for Jewish holidays. So I'm good. But I'm great. I get it. And I'm not even sure it's. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to hear you speak on Sandy Koufax. Go ahead.
Okay, but I'm not even sure there's criteria that says you can't have John Wooden. I hadn't thought about a coach. It's just that he was a coach as compared to a player. So I say, okay, I'll go with the player. And I think we agree. The bottom line is Los Angeles has been blessed over the years with greatness everywhere. It's just, and again, some of these people didn't grow up in LA. Tiger and Serena did grow up in LA, but obviously Magic didn't and Koufax didn't. The Koufax from Brooklyn and Magic from East Lansing.
Kobe didn't either.
And Kobe did not either. But still.
But if you think about it, Magic and Kobe spent more years in LA than away from LA, because once they came here, they never left.
They did.
So Magic has been here since '79. So and Magic is what, 50, probably 58, 59 years of age, maybe almost 60. But he spent the bulk of his career in LA. Same thing with Kobe. I won't fight you, or if you want to take Kobe off and put Magic on. But the two people that must be on there is Tiger Woods and Serena Williams.
Okay, I am with you on that. Now, speaking of greatness, let's talk about his GOATness. Let's talk about Tom Brady, because the over-under on interceptions for Tom Brady in Tampa next year is 10.5. How many touchdowns, how many interceptions will Tom throw next year? That's next.